Hello, trading is closed on February 20th, 2018. We had a few calls over the weekend. I thought Friday's action was negative, and I said unless we get up and promptly take out this high, lower prices should print. I did have a higher MEJT target. I said unless we gap down sharply, which we did, that I thought this number would print, but not this one. So those all worked. If you look at futures, we actually had happened just what I thought was going to happen. Moved up, hit the target, and then dropped. But printing it in futures, while it's relevant, isn't enough to take this price target off the list. So we'll just call this one a failed target in regular trading hours, add it to the list. During the day, MEJT said ultimately higher prices would print. Said this rally was false, prices would retrace. Said the drop was false and prices would retrace to this line, which they did. There's nothing for tomorrow from Tuesday's pattern. Well, the long-term pattern here I think is pretty clear. We've made a major high. We just have to figure out when this recovery is over. We do now have a lower high and a lower low. I like to say I'm convinced it's over, but I'm really not. We had a good chance here. Here's your Andrews pitchfork. You can see how we gapped under the midline. It wouldn't be without precedent if we dropped to the lower time without going over the middle time. But this is clearly an overlapping corrective move rather than a strong impulsive move, which is what I'd like to see if we're going to have a big drop. Even though we gapped down, hit a lower low, and closed under all those lows, which is negative, it's not impressive that with under 5 minutes left to trade, we could not go under this low. It makes the whole thing kind of suspect to me. Tomorrow's pattern, I believe, is one with an early low and delayed high, tends to rally throughout the day and close near the high. If that doesn't happen, it leads to weakness in subsequent trading. If we are going to drop tomorrow, I'd like to see this whole move invalidated by moving it down early and promptly going under this low. If that doesn't happen, I'm not convinced it will. I think the most likely thing is a weak recovery, which does not go over this trend line. That's, I think, the most likely thing, but it certainly isn't a lock. I don't have the same degree of confidence in the call that I normally do, and at this point I'm not risking any money on it, and I'm not encouraging anyone else to either. And that's today's call.